Like in Connecticut. Hey, we're live. We're back. Hopefully this is working better. I apologize for the other feed that went kaput because we get the technical problems so much that I actually had this ready for us.
Next time, let me make the sign because your writing's pathetic. Okay.
You can feel.
Hi everyone. So I have a whole bunch of questions that in this little
interlude.
In this little break, I wrote down a bunch of questions. So someone asked if you get a stamp on your passport in the transit company. So yes, if you go, yes and no. If you have to go through customs, you'll get a stamp. So for instance, if you are coming from the US and you fly into Charles de Gaulle in Paris on your way to Italy, you'll get the stamp when you come into the EU. So you get your stamp in Paris, but not in Rome because you've already come into customs when you came in at Paris. So yes, you get it if you have to go through customs. Someone else asked about East Asian customer service and if it was a blend of European and American. And I would have to say no, it's completely its own thing. It's very different. And it varies widely. Like in the U.S., you can pretty much guarantee that when you sit down at a meal, you're going to have a waiter or waitress, server's going to be there all the time or often, and they talk to you a lot. Whereas in Europe, they stay away a lot more and they just bring you what you need. Two different kinds of service. And in Asia, it varies between those two extremes. And but sometimes it's just, here's your stuff, and then they leave, and you never see them again. I mean, it's just a very different sort of thing. I think you have to experience it, so go to Asia and find out.
Hey, can you do me a favor? If the audio and video are working for you now, just click, yeah, it's working okay, because a couple people tweeted that it wasn't working. Can you just let me know?
Jocelyn, can you do a video with
types
of luggage and day bags? Yes. So I can really quickly tell you that we're huge fans of Osprey bags. I love some of their suitcases because in the back you can unzip this wee bit and it'll have like backpack straps in it for the carry-on. Even bigger than carry-on size, they have it. So you can wheel this thing around like a normal piece of luggage, but you can also throw it on your back because sometimes we're in places where we can't really wheel things around. So I really like that option. If I know I'm somewhere, I don't need to have a backpack. I can take that out and stuff a couple pairs of shoes in there, and that makes me very happy. So that's my basics, and same for Osprey bags. The biggest reason I think we use Osprey, because they are pretty expensive, they have a lifetime, no questions guarantee on everything. If something goes wrong, you send it back in and you get another one. Like our kids will take the same suitcases that we've traveled with all of our lives. We'll be able to hand on to our kids when they're adults. When they graduate from college, I'll be like, here you go. You get this suitcase. We'll buy ourselves new ones. You get this one with all the memories attached, kind of thing. So, anyhow. All right. What else is coming up? Do we watch Rick Steves? Occasionally.
But we've never met him. Someone asked that. I've never met the guy.
Nope.
Actually, we've only... Well, even though they're fellow travelers and bloggers, we've really only met like 2 or 3.
Yeah, we really don't.
Some stuff here. I got some questions from before. I didn't get to them. Someone asked, is there ever a place you'd never visit? And I say never, because things change. People change. Regimes change and stuff like that. And places that were great are not so great or weren't great before are great again. So I never say never, because hopefully we're doing this for decades more. So hopefully we can get a lot more places. Traveler wrote, he said, he asked about the no places we like to go ourselves. No, T-Traveler, we don't actually have any place, like we said, Barnes & Noble, so.
Okay, but somebody up here wanted to know, they've asked us a couple of times, so I want to get it answered. Have you ever gotten in trouble when you visit somewhere, like with the police or border security and stuff like that?
Did you, Jocelyn?
No.
I did. Actually,
I'm good girl.
There's been 2 times the cops came. One was in Beijing at Tiananmen Square, and the guy was just like, hey, don't film this here, But he was nice about it.
We've had that a few times.
But my personal favorite it's like maybe 2 years into doing this, I was in Carlinville, Illinois, little small town, filming on the square, and somebody called the cops and said there's a crazy man talking to himself on the square. And so I got the cameras on the front of the car, propped up and everything. And the police car comes up, and it's not just a police officer, it's the police chief that comes. And he gets out of the car, he looks at me, he looks at the camera, he looks at me, he shakes his head. I wrap up the video. I was like, "Hi, officer. How are you?" He's like, and he tells me the whole story, and I'm like, oh, "Man." And so that was kind of funny.
But
so that was the only
have
time.
Something in was it Bolivia? Did you get?
Oh well, that's yeah. Yeah. No, I thought they meant when we filmed. But I've been shut down by cops and border people before, like Paraguay and Argentina. I got there, and then at the border in St. Petersburg, and they're in the city. But
that was years ago.
But yeah, but not when we were filming or anything.
No.
Do you think backpacks draw pickpockets to you? Pickpockets, man, they know who they're going to get. It doesn't matter what you have. There's things you can do. If you want to wear it on the front, don't leave anything of value on those outside pockets, because think of it, if it's in the outside pockets, it's going to get stolen. Because it's just easy pickings. I mean, I've been on the escalator next to people that were unzipping those bag things and taking people's wallets out. I mean, I'm like, hey, and they're like putting their run off and stuff. So do be careful with that. Someone also asked if you could live anywhere in Scandinavia, any of the countries, where would it be? Money doesn't matter. I actually like Finland. I lived there. Yeah, Finland is the one. Actually, I used to live in Turku, where the horrible accident or the horrible murders happened yesterday on the square. The Kaupatory, we were there. Yeah, there was a guy. They stabbed 2 people to death and other ones right on the Kaupatory, right where we stay. It was horrible, and that's a beautiful city. Like, I'd move there. I'd stay there. I mean, I love the place.
I would never expect something like that to happen there.
Yeah, so that's a fantastic place. That's where we'd go. Okay.
I don't know. I just
yes, we have Greece videos coming up.
Yes.
I'm going to put the don'ts of Greece out tomorrow.
Will we do a meetup in Illinois anytime? I don't know. Best place. I don't know about that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to gloss over that. Best place to visit a family that is all adults. For a family of all adults. Wow, if you're all adults, the whole world is open to you. I think that leaves very little room for question. Get together and see what you all want to see. Like, are some people really into history, or some people really into art or whatever? And
there's places that can cater more towards it. You have the Las Vegases, you have the Dubais, you have the Switzerlands that are really more set up for like adult travelers that are willing to spend some money because they don't have to worry about the kids. That's one thing there. Bonjour, my friend in Lyon. So we have that. Another person wrote about cell phones. Should I buy a new cell phone when I'm going to go? Look, with your cell phones, if it's unlocked, you can just go get a chip and put it in, and that's fine. But if you're going to stay in one country for like 2 weeks or so, you can get a cheap phone and top it up that way and do that. That'll be cheaper than using your phone from back home.
This person was going for 9 months, and they wanted to know, should they just buy a new cell phone there or get an international? I would definitely get one there.
Yeah, I get one there.
Yeah,
especially if you're going to stay in the same country for the whole time, like study abroad. Just get one there. Save yourself the money. You can have that one as a backup if someone wants to call you. You're one from home, but most likely it's going to be locked just for AT&T, so you have that.
So someone else asked about a fear of flying, and I think we address this pretty often, but I do have a fear of flying. I get really anxious, and I hate it. So I do better when all 4 of us are together. For whatever reason, having my family with me makes me more calm. But I take care of that with a glass of wine as soon as we get on. I mean, that just take the edge off, right?
If it's for 4 of us and there's 3 in one, she sits by herself, and then I take the kids. That's how it usually works.
Well, because then that adds less stress.
What happens if you get sick of a place? We leave. I mean, there's been times I've been places, I'm like, this is too expensive, or this is boring, or I'm tired of really bad service, and we got up and left. Like, we literally went in and said, look, we're not paying the next 2 nights. We're leaving. We're going someplace else.
Why waste your money? Why waste your time?
Yeah, if you don't like it, go somewhere else. I mean,
travel's short.
And that's one of the reasons I started Wolters World, is because I went to this one town that a guidebook said was fantastic, and it was worthless. And I'm like, wait, imagine if you only have 10 days vacation. It could be your only trip to Europe, if you're like a U.S. guy. Only trip to Europe in your life, and you waste one of the days. Like 10% of your vacation is wasted because of a bad guidebook. No, town sucks. Go, leave, go someplace else. Find something else. Go ahead.
Well, someone else asked where they were going to Spain, and they asked where to study abroad in Spain.
A lot of people like Granada. Sevilla is a really big place. Andalusia is a really popular place for people to go. The thing is, like, it depends. If you're going to go have a good time, Barcelona's a fantastic place. Madrid's a fantastic place. I have students that have gone both places. I've actually taken students for study abroad trips to Madrid, and they had a nice time. Barcelona too. Sevilla is a very popular place. But the thing is, when you're looking at study abroad, you want to look at it and say, hey, am I going there to experience the culture, to learn the language, or to have a good time? Because what happens is you either get people, like I studied abroad a lot, and I always made it a point to hang out with the locals. Well, most of the time when I did it. And that's how you learn the language and the culture. But a lot of times, study abroad people will actually get, and they just stay with other study abroad students. So you might be in Spain, but all your friends are from Italy and Turkey and Japan instead. So there are those things you want to look at that. Congratulations, Sandsticks. You're pregnant. Awesome. Another little traveler out there.
Yeah, take your baby on.
We used to have onesies. Actually, Wolters with onesies, but we don't have those anymore.
Which town was worthless? They want to know. Do you want to say that?
No,
out
I'm not
loud?
going to say.
That would be rude.
I can't remember because it was so bad. There's two towns that sound almost the same, and I don't want to say it the wrong way.
Okay.
So
what's your favorite beer? Wolters Pilsner?
No. All of them?
All of them.
I like Vice Stefano, actually.
Someone asked about Puerto Rico. Well, I've been to Puerto Rico, and everyone really hated my video on Puerto Rico because
But it was nice.
I said everyone spoke English, and I was making it for tourists.
Yeah, and the tourist place is pretty much...
Everyone speaks English in the tourist areas. Yes, everybody speaks Spanish outside, and, they're multilingual like so many other places. But I really enjoyed Puerto Rico, and I liked the architecture in San Juan was just incredible. But the people were great, and I loved the food. So there you go. Cheapest places to backpack.
Southeast Asia and Latin America. Done.
Yeah.
It's a fraction. It's a fraction of what you're going to pay in Europe. I mean, I backpacked through South America 2 6-month trips, and it was a fraction of the money. We had friends that stayed 2.5 years in Southeast Asia, and they were there for 2.5 years. 2 adults. They spent like $30,000, but it was 2.5 years. So there you go. Hi, my friends in Cadiz.
What places are boring?
Boring is it depends on the people. Like
it's never boring with Mark.
Yes, exactly.
No, God, that's the truth.
I find the beach totally boring. Like I can do if I'm playing with the kids, we can get like an hour or two, and I'm like, all right, can we do something else? So that really depends where you are.
I think that's a personal sort of thing too. Sometimes I find places that we've been several times kind of boring. Because, I feel like I've done it and I don't want to do it again. However, like I could go to Paris every week and not find it boring because I love the city. So, all right.
We have not been to Egypt, but we do want to go to Egypt. So that's one of the places I really wanted to go that we're going to get to. Someone also asked when we're going to Japan. We're going later this year. So if you're watching this video, you got some advice or some videos you want us to do, we'll take it. Go ahead and put it down there.
Cheap recommendations near Belgium.
Cheap recommendation near Belgium.
I don't know. They said I'm from Europe, Belgium. Any cheap recommendations nearby?
Oh. Well, actually, from there, you can get like the EasyJets or whatever going down to Portugal. Portugal's still really cheap. Lisbon's got more expensive because of all the tourists that are going there, but it's still a really good deal. Spain, any place that have economic difficulties, they're going to be really happy to get your money, and so you're going to have kind of you'll get more appreciated than places that are like, I don't care, I don't need your money. I mean, that's how you see it in service sometimes too.
We've not been to Antarctica nor to Greenland yet, but that doesn't mean we won't. I actually would love to get the kids to Antarctica at some point. I think that would be pretty amazing.
How do we afford to travel so much? We find deals. Like our Japan deal we got to go. It was cheaper to go to Japan than it was for us, the 4 of us, to go to New York. So when we find great deals, we go and do those, and we stay at friends' houses. I mean, because the thing is once you get someplace, I find it cheaper outside the U.S. because we can get nice hotels for like 50 to 70 euros, whereas here in the U.S. you get a hotel for what, $150, $200 a night for a Holiday Inn.
And in Central and South America, you cut the European price by half or more because we've gotten places in Nicaragua. What?
Oh God, for like $25 and this
$25
amazing.
and it's a
Nicaragua's
really
awesome,
nice hotel.
And also like when we were in China, we were staying like 5-star hotels for $80 a night.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a place they're like $500 in the U.S. And so a lot of it comes down to is where we go, and you'll see that. Like, we do hit the Parises and stuff like that, but we'll go stay in an apartment so we can cut the cost. We get everybody in there.
Yep. Okay.
Yes, I have been to North Cyprus many years ago.
We have not yet visited Egypt. Mark really, really wants to go there. Oh, Andre.
No, I do not plan to go to North Korea anytime soon, but I will not say never, okay?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, what? You got to answer. It's because people don't, when they watch this video later, they don't
I'm
get the
asking you, what Philadelphia? Do you have any
I've never been there.
tips? I've not been to
My
Philadelphia.
mom loves it. She loves it. That's what
So
she
we
says
don't really have any good tips for that. Where did we get the Japan deal? We got it from Delta.
They had a like a 1-day flash sale with miles and everything. You got like boost double miles or whatever. So
Yeah.
it worked out well.
So what else?
Minsk. Yes, I've been to Minsk before. It was a cool experience having the kind of agents follow us around and stuff like that and tell us how great stuff Lukashenko is. Like, I don't know about that. So, languages we speak, English, Deutsch, Portuguese, Espanol, Lietuviške. What else is there? Francês? I don't know. It's been a little bit. It depends.
Italian.
Oh yeah, Italiano. Possiamo parlare in italiano, però
But what?
we don't have a lot of Italian fans. Okay,
Yeah.
I can't. Do I have a day job? Yes, I do. I teach for a living. That's why I get all the vacation times off. So we get like the winter break, Christmas break and summer break and fall break and spring break. We go those times. And then sometimes, and the thing is, we don't always travel together. Sometimes Jocelyn will go by herself. Sometimes I'll go by myself. Too bad we can't send the kids by themselves, but whatever.
No, that's not. No. Someone asked about taking kids to Prague. And like what to do with them. So when you go across the Charles Bridge, at one end of it, at the smaller little, what's that area called? You know where where the castle is? What's that part of Prague?
Castle Hill.
Okay, so when you head toward Castle Hill from like where the teen church? I know I'm going to say that wrong, but where the astronomical clock is and stuff. If you're heading toward the castle on the bridge, you're walking across Charles Bridge, and you get off Charles Bridge, go down and sort of around to the right. There are like 2 or 3 really cool shops with little marionettes, so that my kids just love. I mean, we can spend hours in these shops, and some of them they make right there, and one of them I know has they have classes and stuff, and that's a really cool thing. The other thing that Caleb really got a giant kick out of in Prague was that they have a what do you call that ice bar thing? They're all over the place. Is that all it is?
It's just called ice bar.
Name. But anyway.
Marvel.
I took Caleb there. They have like juice drinks and stuff for the kids, and he just thought that was like the coolest thing for the first like 10 minutes, and then we were just cold. But it was a fun thing to do. Prague's just a great place to wander with the kids and find things. In Prague, if you get like 2 blocks off the main tourist streets, you're gonna get to see what the city really is, and there's a lot more kid stuff. And gosh, sometimes we just spend time in toy stores and things. Will you ever visit a gulag? It's pretty cold where the gulags are. Were.
Is that, yeah.
But I don't know. I wouldn't mind.
We've been to concentration camps and stuff.
Yeah.
And actually, if you're in Latvia, if you go to Riga and you go to the occupation museum there, they have some exhibits there that really show you what it was like the barrels they were supposed to poop in that were like shaved down, so it's like razor sharp on there, so you cut your butt, get infected, and die gangrene, yay! So that kind of sucks, but you can see that. Someone wrote, is my U.S. license valid abroad? It depends where you go. What I would do is go to your local AAA, your automobile association, and get an international driver's license. That and your U.S. license will work together, okay? So you do have that. Another one, someone asked you, what do your kids like the best? The boys consistently vote Costa Rica and Iceland. They're 2 favorite places they've gone.
Yeah, definitely. So. They love, and Nicaragua was, well, I guess that was my favorite, but... They like places where there's a lot.
I thought Nicaragua was awesome, but the boys like Costa Rica more.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Right. No, I do not offer any tours. One thing we're thinking about is just trying to gauge people's interest in something like that. Whether it's a cruise, we do a cruise together on in Germany or Italy or something for like 5 days or something.
So, Lisa, what souvenirs do you look for? So for us, it's paintings. We like to buy paintings from people off the street. And also occasionally, I don't know, just nice things that are flat, but that you can keep forever. And it's a great memory of a place. So that's what we try to do. We try to get them from everywhere. Advice for Kiev.
Okay, so Kiev is still pretty cheap. It is still pretty cheap. U.S. citizens do not need visas right now, as I believe. What I would say is if you're going next week, learn like 10 words. Learn the thank you, please, I want. You can do it in Russian. Я хочу is I want in Russian, but in Ukrainian it will go over really well. That's one of the things, because you will see kind of a dearth of English. So do be careful with that. So maybe have like your guidebook so you can point at like some phrases and stuff like that for there. The food, it's not going to be spectacular. A lot of cabbage and meat and stuff like that. But the city's gorgeous. The churches are fantastic. Show respect in the churches. Take your hat off if you're going. If you're female, maybe want to just have a little scarf and just put over your head, stuff like that. So that's kind of my big thing there. Don't expect super awesome service, but you'll have a good time.
Food and coffee advice in Copenhagen.
Food. It's expensive in Copenhagen if you stay away from the New Haven. It can be a little bit less expensive. Well, actually, one of the best hot dogs in Scandinavia, and I know I'm going to get hate for this, but Copenhagen and Denmark have the best hot dogs. So for a cheapie, get a Danish hot dog, you'll love it. But actually, the new Scandinavian cuisine, all throughout Scandinavia, the restaurants are really good. So don't think you have to eat Scandinavian food. You can eat all kinds of stuff there. So you'll be really, really, really happy.
What is your most overrated country and city? It's a good question.
Brussels is always my most overrated.
Yeah, I don't have one. I don't know. I maybe Munich. Munich's cool and you should go see it, but like I could go there once and not go back, but Mark loves it. I don't know. It's just not my gig. I would rather go to a little tiny town somewhere off the beaten path, but that's always me.
Okay, there's a couple questions here. One person, they're going on their first trip to Paris in January. So awesome. Good choice for your first place to go. One thing I would say, January, you have a lot less tourists, especially if you're going after like the 5th or 6th, that first weekend when everyone's back to school. It's never empty, but there's a lot less tourists, so that's really nice. So you're going to be able to get in lines a lot quicker. You can go out and see the Versailles without tons of tour groups there and stuff like that. So you'll be fine. Weather can be cold and wet. Usually not too much snow, but cold and wet. And do be careful of the leftover fireworks that kids start throwing around when it's around New Year's. Another person wrote, said, hey, have there been any scary situations? I mean, Jocelyn got a pickpocketed once while she was changing, and they took it from the baby bag. But scary situations, I was in Peru 20 years ago, and the army tanks came rolling in, and everyone starts running the other direction. And I'm like, what the... And that was kind of a scary time. Getting shut down by the cops at the border and the police in Russia and Paraguay. It was a couple other scary times.
Sistine Chapel. No, you don't get to take pictures.
But people will still take pictures, and they'll yell at you not to take pictures. And people are like, oh, hey, look, what? I don't know.
Didn't we once see them take a camera? I feel like we did.
Yeah, that person was a jerk.
Yeah, they were like...
They had like this camera... With flash and everything.
With flash and things. And, just to clarify, the reason you're not supposed to use a flash when you take pictures is that one flash from a camera is something like 20 years of sunlight on artwork. So your one picture isn't worth ruining it for other people. That's, it's sort of just a respect thing.
Turn off your flash. That's why a lot of them say no flash.
So, yeah, you might be able to get away with just, holding the phone or something, but we don't recommend it. So.
I haven't used hot wires, so I can't say anything about them.
We've not yet been to the Azores. How do we say that? Azores. I always forget how to say that, and I always say it Portuguese-ish. Anyway, we haven't been there. We have some friends from there. Having lived in Lisbon, you kind of meet some people from the Azores now and then. And one of my good friends, she and her husband went and stayed there, and they did work research on whaling stuff. And she just had incredible things to say about it. So there you go. Best bookstores in the world. All of them. I love bookstores. There's no bookstore that I don't ever pass up a bookstore. Even if it's in some language that I know I'll never be able to read. I just like to be around books.
So
Can you tell?
Yeah, that's all. We have 2 more huge shelves over there, and upstairs in the kids' rooms in my office. So one person wrote, where do you guys want to go in Africa? This is one of the trip a lot of people ask us about, and we're working on it. I know there's like the southern cone we want to get to with South Africa, Namibia, Zambia, those kind of things. Do like a safari. Kenya, Ethiopia. I know Jocelyn really wants to go to Rwanda and see that, so that she's really into that one. I really enjoyed North Africa when I went there, so that's why Egypt comes up a lot for me too. I want to get to Morocco. Tunisia was fantastic. So there's a lot of places in Africa we want to get to. And they're coming, and that's it. People are like, why aren't you going to these places? Go more. I'm like, we have limited time and limited money, so we're doing the best we can to get there. So sometimes
it's a very big
years.
World and not a very big budget.
Yeah, and since we've got Japan coming, we saved a lot on the tickets, but getting there while we're there,
yeah.
So.
Okay, so do you need a passport to go to Puerto Rico from the U.S.?
No.
No.
But you have to make sure you have the right kind of driver's license, because like the state of Illinois driver's license wasn't the right kind, so you do need to check that out. But just if whoever you book your ticket with, be like, hey, I've got a Missouri license or a California license. Is that cool?
Yeah,
like, yep.
Call your airline and just double check with them.
Because there was like 6 states who didn't meet the requirement for airline travel. But going to Puerto Rico is like flying in the U.S. It's just you get on and go.
Although I think I went with my passport.
But we take our passports everywhere, so just in case. You never know, when you're in Missouri, you might actually turn right and end up in Canada.
Tips for traveling with a baby abroad. My first tip is do it. My second tip is I always take a thermometer. That was something really important to me because although I understand Celsius, I wouldn't know what a fever is in Celsius. And so I know that sounds silly, right? But taking a thermometer from wherever you are is kind of a helpful thing. I always took some kind of... I hate it when you do that. This is not working for me.
Fine.
I take diapers for like 2 days, and then I buy the rest of the diapers there. You have to remember that wherever you're going, people have babies, and those babies are surviving, and so you can buy whatever you need. So don't go overboard and pack tons and tons of stuff. My other big tip is that when you fly with a baby, and this goes for even toddlers and stuff too, give them something to suck on, whether it's a bottle or a pacifier or your breast, whatever. It is best if they can be swallowing going up and when you come down. As soon as your ears pop, as soon as you feel the planes start to descend, you need to put a bottle or something in that baby's mouth, because that's why kids are always screaming on planes, because their ears hurt. I mean, it bothers us, but can you imagine being an infant and having that, So that's a big tip.
And lots of people get really upset with those babies. Oh, I'm like, that's why the baby's crying. It's the pressure in their ears that hurts them, and they don't know. They can't say, "Hey, mom, this hurts. Do something." It's just
Right.
Moscow or St. Petersburg. I go with St. Petersburg.
Although I really want to go to Moscow, I haven't been there, so.
Good books you love, Jocelyn. Oh my God, this could be its own thing.
Okay, so The Damned Don't Cry. It was actually out of print for a really long time, and a friend of mine who owns a publishing company brought that back, and I absolutely love The Damned Don't Cry. So, I don't know. I have to look at them all, because I have so many. Yeah, I like Flannery O'Connor. I like a lot of Southern writers from the U.S. I like kids' books, too. I read a lot of kids' books. So, okay.
Thank you, Bill Green.
Thanks,
I appreciate
Bill.
your super
Constant
chat, man. Thank
support,
you.
yeah.
Because you're on there a lot, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hot or cold countries? Mark, which do you prefer?
Wherever you are, baby, is a hot country.
Nice. Mark likes it where it's cold because, he's a polar bear, and I like places that are warm because...
I'm furry and fat. Someone asked, do we ever fly first class? We never buy first class tickets. We've gotten upgraded a few times for that because we fly enough, so we got enough miles. So we do get upgraded sometimes, but I don't have the money to fly first class.
Yes, I really would like to go to Cuba, and it's just a matter of fitting it in and finding a way to get there and not just stay on a resort, because we've had friends who've gone and stayed on resorts, and we've had friends who got off and saw the country, and that's a difficult thing to make happen, but I definitely, I love you, Scotland. Anyway, so definitely Cuba's on the list. It's just a matter of making it happen.
So people are asking if we're going to go to Dubai and stuff like that. Yes, that is also on the list. I have a whole book of places I really want to go. I was actually going through this the other night. I couldn't sleep. I'm like, okay, let's think about the places we need to check out because we got Japan down and we got this. So I'm like going through it. It's 2 pages long. So
East coast of Canada. So
oh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's
PEI.
really beautiful. Prince Edward Island was
Candace
just
teaches this.
so beautiful.
PEI and then they mic drop and they walk out. It's
God,
gorgeous.
you're a nerd.
Dude, it's awesome.
I know, but the mic drop thing, that played out a minute ago.
Sorry.
Uh-huh.
Should I dab? Oh, no, that's 2015.
No, that's you can't do that, honey.
Yes, we do Instagram. It's at Wolters World.
Okay.
I list U.S. state. I have no idea. I've only been to like 40 of them, so I have
Best
to
toilet paper.
2-ply. Those of you that only get single-ply toilet paper, no one likes you. No one when they go to your house, they see your 1-ply toilet paper and say, "What a cheap, worthless human being." So 2-ply at
How
least.
about your worst? You want to tell them about grit?
Oh god. Lithuania had this toilet paper called Grit, Grite, Grite, but it looks like grit. And they're like, "Oh, this is the best toilet paper in Lithuania." When I was living there, 15 years ago, and I just kind of laughed because it's called Grit. And for you that don't know, grit is like the stuff sandpaper makes it hard. I'm like, rough sandpaper on my bottom. Sounds like a great brand. That'll go far.
So yes, our kids go to school and they're in traditional school. Right now they're upstairs they're playing. I don't know why they're being so quiet.
Which probably is a bad thing.
I'm sure that when we get off of here, the house will be spray painted or something. Not really. How is Maine? Maine is absolutely beautiful. Thanks.
Maine is gorgeous.
Incredible. I mean, the nature is just, it can't be beat.
I love Germany. Jocelyn's not as big of a fan as I am, but I'm actually.
I like small towns in Germany. Yeah. I don't like the big towns in Germany.
Yeah, so we're hitting the Christmas markets again this year for a short trip with my mom and dad later this year. Traveling.
Can you fly a plane? No, but that might get me over my fear of flying. Yeah. Somebody want to pay for that?
Is the Black Forest worth it? The Black Forest is pretty, but if you're looking at places, Baden-Baden. One thing with Baden-Baden is the train station is as close to like the actual city you want to go to. So that's kind of things. Stuttgart's a big city worth checking out, but I've usually prefer Bavaria or Franken or something like that.
We were just in Edinburgh a couple months ago.
Okay, Philippines. I don't think we'll be there in the next couple of years at least, but I never say never. So there is that. Hey, MCU2, we're going to be in Japan later this year. Travel horror stories.
Hamburg or Berlin?
Jocelyn having on bed rest for 4 months in Portugal.
That wasn't travel. We lived there.
Okay,
that didn't count. Hamburg or Berlin? Two very different places.
Yeah, I go Berlin, but Hamburg's a cool city for like partying. Like if you're looking for a guys' weekend or a girls' weekend or like going to theater, that's cool. But if you're looking for more museums and stuff like that, I like Berlin. But they're both very modern German cities, not so much your half-timbered houses, Germany.
Yeah.
Say hi.
Australia. Mark lived in Australia for a while, and we're hoping to get down there, but I don't know when it's going to happen, simply because it's really far. But we want to do that in New Zealand, and it's definitely on our wish list. It's just not happening quite yet.
Beautiful train lines. Honestly, if you go through Switzerland, anywhere through Switzerland, going through the mountains there, it's just gorgeous.
That's the best way to see Switzerland as far as I'm...
she was sick in Portugal because she was pregnant with Liam there, and she had... and so there was issues with the pregnancy, so she was on bed rest for 4 months and had to spend a month in a Portuguese hospital. Underrated places like Bruges is awesome. Brussels is boring, but Ghent is really cool. People don't really think about going to Ghent in Belgium. It's a lot of times like the second or third city that people don't really know about that are just amazing. Like going to Bavaria, I love Bamberg, which is most people go to. They go to Munich and Nuremberg and Neuschwanstein, but Bamberg's awesome. So,
okay, Grand Canyon or Bryce Canyon? Both. I mean, the Grand Canyon you can't. It's the Grand Canyon. Bryce Canyon's really beautiful though too. So. Just see them both. What the heck? Is it Austria or Germany? What do you think about that question? Which is better? Austria? Or which would you rather go to?
I like Germany better, but I like Austria too. Like, you're not going to go wrong with either one.
I think I would go Austria,
Yeah, you go
Germany
Austria.
next. But that's just us.
I don't know what the average cost of round trip tickets from LA to Paris. Go to like kayak.com and put in some different dates for different times of the year, and just put LA Paris round trip to get some ideas, or Skyscanner. They're gonna have a better way to do it than there. We've never been to Gibraltar. I learned Portuguese because I did my PhD in Portugal, and the year of courses was all in Portuguese, and I also lived in Brazil before that.
So it's funny, in Brazil and perfected in Portugal.
It like this, like Brazil, then my first year in Portugal, and then I started teaching, and everything was in Portuguese, and then I started teaching, it was taught in English, and then my Portuguese went down after that. So there you go.
And I learned Portuguese in Lisbon, although mine is very bad and broken because I don't get to practice it much, so like I get basics and like, I do good reading, but I don't necessarily speak it very well.
Hi to our buddies in Macon, Georgia.
Hey. You don't say hi. They're in Macon. Hey. Go dogs.
Say hi.
Caleb's here, but he doesn't want to say hi. What is this? Hinton B. Thank you sincerely.
Yes, thank you, Hinton B.
That's
yes,
kind of
we
you.
will keep going. We've got lots of videos still to put out, and we're going to be doing more traveling, so all kinds of stuff.
Athens, Greece, or Athens, Georgia. Go dogs. Man.
Can't go wrong with either one. Athens, Georgia's got all kinds of great bars and football. Athens, Greece has got the Acropolis and great food.
Saturdays are coming too.
Woohoo! So.
All right, cool. Do you like Cologne and the cathedral? Absolutely. We walked up the cathedral. Hey, there's Caleb. Hey, someone said they couldn't believe that you were 11. You know, people have been watching you since you were small. Like, really small, right? Yeah, can you smile? Just, like, maybe wave?
They can't see him.
I know, he doesn't want to be seen. He's
sorry.
kind of shy right now.
There you go.
That's what happens when you're 11 sometimes.
That's
right. Have you been to Cordoba?
I've been to Cordoba, Spain, and Cordoba, Argentina. Both are really cool places.
What do you lecture at university?
Marketing. I teach marketing.
What's the purpose of this channel?
Poop dog! There you go.
What? Music is good in Athens, Georgia. What's the purpose of this channel? It's to save people from making giant travel mistakes that we have all made.
It's about getting honest travel advice from people that actually went there versus people that copy from other travel guides and make everything sound so fantastic when it's not the truth. So we want to make sure we get the most honest advice out there, because everything's got to be so wonderful and we have to make every town sound great when it's not the truth. Truth is, people need to know the right and wrong stuff about traveling, and that's what we try to do. We try to help other travelers travel better.
Best places in Spain outside Barcelona and Madrid. Hey, will you keep saying that over and over again? It makes me want to vomit.
That's true, though. Best place, Cordoba was really nice. Cadiz was nice for like a little side beach thing.
Valencia.
Oh, yeah, Valencia was really cool. The Art Deco and the nice city beach there. I was really happy with Valencia. I took students there earlier this year. It was really good. So
I can't even hear over.
Do your kids ever choose destinations? Yes, we let them help. Caleb picked Brazil last year, and Liam picked Mexico. Also this year for this trip, for a trip we went on this year. That was Caleb peeking in the corner there. Oh, and Brigadier the dog. So we have that. I think we're freezing up again. Are we freezing up again? So anyway. So do you get local currency at ATM only? Yes, we do. I use my local bank debit card to get out money from ATMs abroad. So we have that. It looks like we're getting kind of very bad connection here. So I guess we'll wrap it up for today. 9-hour layover in Dublin. You have enough time to head in for a little bit, then head out. So you can do some stuff just in the center of town real quick. So there is that. But yeah, we're getting laggy. So Caleb's ready for us to go play today. So we've been on for an hour. We say, love you all. Thank you so much. Sorry it's a bit shorter this time, but thank Comcast for our really crappy internet connection that we have to pay like double for, because we got the really awesome high-level internet, so we could do things like that, which we obviously can't. Anyway, so thank you, everybody. We'll say bye.
Thanks. Bye. Can you wave? Bye.